Hello, people, and welcome to another episode of Through a Different Lens podcast. It's the final one of the NFL season officially. Obviously, in case we get trade talks and all that jazz, but final playing time one. It's your boy Joe.
It's your boy Jacob.
I already know how you're doing, brother. We're both tired.
Very.
We're both tired. Me and Jacob went to the Big Penny Social watch party, which I believe was hosted by NFL UK, and they had like Big Game Night, Channel 5 there as well, and a whole bunch of fans. And it was interesting. You said that this would be a good venue to throw a motive in general.
Oh, 100%, 100%. The venue was actually superb, to be fair. The way they kind of laid it out with the screens, the interactive side of things, creators just being there, the NFL shop being there as well. It was real good. It was a real good environment, real good access to seeing the UK NFL fans, even though I think a lot of them were from the US anyway, because you saw a lot of Seattle Seahawks jerseys, which are not used to seeing. But it was like how I feel Super Bowl Sunday in the US, if you were at somewhere, would be like a similar vibe when you're around real fans. So it was a real good experience, to be fair, just being there and watching the Super Bowl in a different type of way as we're used to, because we usually just sit at home and watch it, but being out and about watching it was good.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, especially in that fan particular section part. Obviously upstairs you had like the content creators and stuff, so the vibe's a bit different. But when you, like you said, when you went downstairs again, and then you were like, nah, they're even doing chants and doing first down and all that jazz. You're like, like that's what brings us, because we're just proper fans, innit? So we're with the that's in, you get me? So nah, it was good still, and yeah, very good venue, even though it's very far. But South, we're not really blessed to have those kind of spaces and stuff like that. So I said hour drive at like 3 a.m. back. It says it all, or near enough that time. But yes, I thank God my prediction was right. It was more so just an itch, because I thought their dark arts will come through. But yes, God said no. The team that you said are going to shock people at the beginning of the season, they went all the way and shocked people, the Seattle Seahawks, and they're back on top of the NFL food chain like they were just about 10 years ago, and got revenge.
They did. Rightful revenge as well, in the right way. I feel like the Seahawks have built off defense before, and that's what showed up last night. It was a real defensive game up until really and truly the last quarter, but it was still a defensive game. The Seattle defense, I don't know how they're going to rival the Legion of Boom, but right now they're the Legion of Doom, whatever you want to call them. They are whatever they are. They are sensational. They kind of won the game. Plus Kenneth Walker, plus Sam Darnold, obviously not turning the ball over, which is just key, especially in a team that you've spoken about many times before. You said the NFC is built on teams, the AFC is built on strong quarterback play, and you can see that last night. The team won the game. The best team won the game. We all felt like the Super Bowl was really 2 weeks ago in the NFC Championship game anyway. So whoever came out of that was going to dominate this game. And it came true. So the Seahawks, man, they sensational performance from them. I'm proud and I'm glad to see all of their players, because they've got direct links to Africa where the players are actually repping their African countries. So I love to see that for them, and the camaraderie, and McDonald, who we've been talking about all year, Sam Darnold, who we've been talking about all year. Like, everything just came to a head, and it was a culmination of what a great season looks like. And right now, the Seahawks are scary. They look dangerous, and we'll see what they can do looking into the future. But for last night, well-deserved performance, well-deserved win, and, Super Bowl. I like it.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. On that Africa point, I believe they have 5 Africans in their team, 4 Nigerians and 1 Sierra Leonean. Obviously, Sierra Leonean being my guy JSN, Offensive Player of the Year, and then Nigerians Jalen Milroe, Owusu, who scored a touchdown, May, and then he was probably the best safety this year as a rookie, and he had injury doubts. And his mum went viral for the superb clip a couple of days before saying,
Yep.
what'd she say again?
She says, "Here, Super Bowl? What's the Super Bowl?" He
Yep.
said, "We scored a touchdown. Woo, woo, woo."
Ooh, that's it. Imam Worry. He
Mm-hmm.
has absolutely been flying this season. You would not think he's a rookie. And I even saw like a lot of pundits and analysts say, I think it was Richard Sherman that said it actually a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, that said he is the key to Seattle's defense. As long
Right.
as he's playing, their defense will be superb. And like, bro, that defense, like you said, absolutely flying around. It was to be fair, both defenses came to play.
Mm.
But yeah, the Seattle Seahawks defense, they didn't budge, and they showed that it had to take the absolute best quarterback in the NFL this season to be the one that caused them issues. And that's only
Mm-hmm.
because he's got enough tape, because he played them 3 times this season, and it was Matthew Stafford. Because in the
Yep.
first matchup, they more or less tamed Stafford, even though the Rams won, was it 21-19, and the
Yep.
Seahawks had 4 turnovers. Stafford didn't do much in that one, but the next 2 games, he went
It was
crazy
MVP.
and
Yeah.
rightfully won MVP. And it was only him. Obviously, Baker had a good game against them as well, but
They pulled it
anyone
out.
else, Mike McDonald, and shout out our British guy, our English guy, Aiden Hurd, the defensive coordinator for the
Uh-huh.
Seattle Seahawks. I think this is his first year as a DC, and
Yeah.
yeah, he's got that young defense, absolutely scary. And that's the main point. They're young. Their players haven't been paid. Witherspoon, I think, third year, because him and JSN came in together. Iman Worry, I've just said. Rookie, Job is young. Reek Woolen, he's probably the oldest there. That in that little, I say little
Yeah.
quartet, whatever, but he's been in a few years. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's both teams are young. And I think I heard Seattle's got the 6th best cap space going into off season.
Yeah, they would do, because obviously they're not having to pay a quarterback hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions. You get what I mean? Their quarterback's on 30 million. Sam Darnold hit all the incentives he needed to hit this offseason. So, he made all the money on his contract this year. But him having that deal is essentially similar. It's not, but it's similar to having a rookie quarterback, because of the way that deal in the market is so small compared to what other quarterbacks are being paid. It doesn't dismantle your team, and you're able to pay people around him, and bring in talent for the next few years until, okay, cool, we might have to then pay Sam Darnold again, which will be ridiculous. But you can pay the people around him right now because he's under contract. You can get them all paid. You can maybe do what the Eagles have done and keep everyone on the roster. Do you get what I mean? So the Seahawks are in a real good place on that side of things. And I feel like going forwards, they will be literally one of the top teams in the NFL, just because of this contract they signed Sam Darnold to, the skill players they have around him on offense, and you got the skill players on defense. So, their team is scarily, scarily good, scarily, scarily young. So the future is bright. The future is real bright for them.
Definitely agreed. Definitely agreed. And you mentioned him at the beginning, the head coach, Mike McDonald. Um, Obviously, he's got plaudits this season, but he's probably not got enough. And now he's not one of the fancier names, but that's because the
Mm.
young head coaches in the NFL, most of them are offensive minded. He's
Yeah.
a defensive genius. And
Mm.
it's actually good to see in his second year, bro. He's not flipped the franchise, because the franchise, they're always like well run, stable, but he's just
Yeah.
basically just the way Vrabel got credit for bringing the Patriots back immediately. Matt
Mm-hmm.
McDonald deserves even more credit in that sense, because he won up to great Vrabel and their
Yeah.
experienced coaching staff.
No, 100%, 100%. And I feel like, personally, for me, he's top 3 coaches in the NFL now. You have to put him in that discussion. Uh, like, he's now a Super Bowl winning head coach. So, you have that accolade to go with everything else. And you can see the way he's not turned around, but as you said, he's consistently kept, over these last 2 years, the Seahawks in contention for something. And as you see, usually the better coaches, the best head coaches, in their first 2 years, they actually either get to a Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl. You've seen that kind of from recent history, from the past all the way back down to Lombardi and all them, man. So you get what I mean? There's a case study behind how good of a coach he's going to be because of what he's proven, and it's kind of a proven track record throughout the whole of the NFL. So I've been singing his praises all year, though. I've been singing his praises all year. I've been singing the Seahawks praises all year. I feel like Kenneth Walker, obviously, he was super duper key, Super Bowl MVP, and that's what they built their offense off of, the run game. They built the offense off the run game, and then Sam Donald, if you need to be the guy for a few plays, for a few literally games, then you could be the guy. But I think they built the offense the right way, and I think they built their team the correct way, where it's a sustainable model to go forward. So yeah, man, the Seahawks, they were my early season underdog pick, and I said don't sleep on them because that receiving core, JSA and Cooper Kupp, the others around, the trade for Shaheed, the speed, you get what I mean? That was a key needle-moving trade. So, like, they made all the right decisions at the right times, and everyone that came in participated and literally was part of the Super Bowl run. So, it was a sensational year for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And just to touch up on, you mentioned the MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker the third. Not going into the game, but just probably the last couple games. Obviously, throughout the season, him and Charbonnet have worked well. Then Charbonnet got ruled
Yeah.
out for the season. So I was thinking, oh, is this going to take his toll on Kenneth Walker? Do you know what I mean? And then when Charbonnet wasn't there, Kenneth Walker just he just said, "Don't worry, guys, I got the run game." And then he
Yep.
showed it in the Super Bowl, going 25 carries for 135 yards, exactly 5 yards on average a carry, and one Super Bowl MVP. Obviously, there was a moment he nearly had a touchdown, then it got pulled back. That would have
Yes.
been the icing on the cake. And even when we got back, that's partly why I went bed late. I was watching like a couple of like their interviews and stuff like that post games. And he said it was his dad's first game watching him in the NFL. So his dad will always fly out to Seattle, but his dad will never go to games because he doesn't like crowd noise. I believe what someone said I think there's some sort of a condition, but it was his agent that not forced his dad, but like initiated for his dad and his younger brother to be there and stuff like that. And he said because of that, like they then mic'd up his dad and everything. And it was
Yeah.
just like, I was like, nah, that was a beautiful moment. And yeah, like his run game was the offense for them throughout most of the game in that sense. Because there was a period he had 10 carries for 80 yards, and then the Patriots defense run defense started to show up a bit more. Um, and I think did I say to you in the car back, he's the first running back to win it since Terrell Davis for
Oh,
the
okay.
rate is so what was that? 98 if I'm not mistaken, or 99. I might be wrong. Maybe 98. I might be wrong. But like in my
Yeah.
mind, I was thinking, raw, running back hasn't won Super Bowl MVP for that long.
It's crazy. It's crazy because, well, you'd think early 90s it would have made sense for running back to win it more often than not. But the game transitioned away from that. Do you get
Hmm.
what I mean? And then I feel like a lot of Super Bowls, if they're within one score games, the quarterback's getting it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like recently we've seen skill positions win it, like Cooper Cup won it. When the
Yeah.
Rams obviously won when the Rams won it. But other than that, it's kind of been the MVP's gone to literally the quarterback because Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes,
Mm.
uh, do you get what I mean? Or I've never really I've not seen it go to a defensive player. I felt like yesterday was the day. One day it could have gone to if the Patriots had won, Christian Gonzalez was taking it. Do you get
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
No
Um,
matter what the score would have been.
yeah, the Patriots what Christian Gonzalez was taking it. I feel like the Seahawks, they could have given it to any defensive player, but you'd have to give it to the whole defense because everyone was dominant. So to single out one person is difficult. So you just give it to the most eye-catching guy on offense. You get what I mean? We love the
Hmm.
offense anyway. That's kind of what was the reason that put them over the edge. So yeah, it's the running back position it's back on the map. We know that. We know that they're respecting them again a lot more. I feel like they're getting
Yeah.
not their money's worth, but they're getting paid to a better extent. People are saying the shelf life is longer for a running back, partly because of Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. So Kenneth Walker's up to get paid this year. I think
Right.
he's an unrestricted free agent. So he can really go out and test the water if he wants to. I don't think he will, but the Seahawks can pay him. You get what I
Yeah.
mean? So the Seahawks will. I think the Seahawks will pay him, do him his justice, and then they can just carry on.
Yeah. No, they better pay him because he's only what 25. So,
25,
and
yeah.
like you said, the running backs, they're of value again. They're being properly rated. I've been screaming it, oh yeah, maybe for 2 years about the Chiefs run game, for instance. So
Mm,
maybe this Mahomes injury, sorry to make it a Chiefs point, but this Mahomes injury will be a blessing in disguise and be like, yo, we finally need a running back because practically every good team in the NFL has a fairly good as the minimum run game.
yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So
Everything's built off of it.
yeah, no, it is. And for someone like Darnold, it's helped his performance where again, defensive coordinators now have to scheme differently because, like, it's not the Seahawks' run game isn't like magnificent. Like, it's not one of the top end teams, for instance. It's just good. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It does the job. It does enough. And I
Mhm.
think Kenneth Walker's performance was that. It done the job. It done enough for them, and it's kind of mirrored the rest of their season. Especially like the Patriots defense, they showed up in terms of the pressure that they got to Donald. So, um, and like you namely stated, Christian Gonzalez, when the Seahawks did have big plays, he basically stopped 2 touchdowns, one from JSN, and
Mhm.
I can't remember the other person. But I'd say if Cup had another 25 plus yards, maybe he would have been Super Bowl MVP if he had another 25
Yeah.
from that Darnold's current bunch of yards. But again,
Mm.
his experience came through. He made the catches. He ended up being their receiving, their leading receiver. Obviously, JSN got injured, then come back in the game, and it's moments like that is why. And that, to be fair, this is why you were kind of big on the Seahawks as well. World Cup signing, and I was like, oh, I weren't sure. And even recently seeing after the NFC Championship game, that the Rams actually told Cooper Cup to retire, and I was like, "Ooh, all right, that's a bit too far." But obviously
Mm.
injuries and stuff like that. But the Seahawks just needed him to do a job to
Mhm.
complement JSN, who was OP Offensive Player of the Year,
Player of the year.
and
Yep.
then bringing in Shaheed, brilliant move, and then others could just do what they needed to do. And like you said, again, that stems off the run game. As long as the run game's solid, the passing game. We saw NFC Championship. Donald had the game of his life. This postseason, 5 touchdowns, no turnovers. Clean game.
Yep. And it's just proven. It's proven it. It's actually it was a proven thing throughout the playoffs. Actually, the team that turned the ball over more just lost, and it proved itself every single game throughout these playoffs. There wasn't one where there was that turnover differential and you won. No, if you
Yeah,
turned the ball over more than the other team, you lost the game.
yeah.
That was it. This offseason, this playoffs.
In my mind, I was thinking, oh yeah, Patriots may had a lot of turnovers, but then in the counter, his opposing quarterback
You
were
get
like,
you
"Don't
see
worry,
what you
Drake, mate, we'll save you."
you get what I mean. You get what I mean. Think about the run, like the Chargers game, the Texans game. Drake May was turning it over, but CJ Stroud was doing his best to just one up him every single time. And then you see Jared Stidham turning the ball over.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's
So
true. It's true. And just to probably finish up on the Seahawks defense, um, bro, the initial pressure the front four was getting was immense. Like then obviously it's only recent people have actually been saying the likes of DeMarcus Lawrence's name, Leonard Williams, and stuff like
yeah,
that. But just
yeah.
like the schemes that Aiden Hurd was drawing up, some of the blitzes from the secondary, and they were getting
Mhm.
to May. Do you know what I mean? May only escapes like 2 of them or something like that. And just
Mhm.
seeing that their defense finished off with 6 sacks, 2 interceptions, one forced fumble recovery, and of course the touchdown. It was similar to the Eagles last year. It was like a perfect defensive game plan. And
Yeah.
obviously offense is the one that catches the eye, but when the defense is so good, you're like, wow.
It's immense to watch. It's
Yeah,
still
it
immense to
is.
watch. Yeah. It's not like a boring defensive game. You get what
Mhm,
I mean? It's one of those ones where you're actually enjoying it. You can love what you're seeing because you're like,
mhm.
okay, you can understand why they're scheming it up. They're rushing 4 each time.
Yeah.
They're literally covering everyone. Drake May's flustered consistently. There's
Mhm.
nothing much he can do. So yeah, when defenses are playing that way, it's a joy to watch, to be fair. As much as everyone loves the touchdowns, woo, 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 you can also love the other side of the game. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like for the defensive heads out there that love the defenses in NFL, that's a perfect game for them because you got enough scoring as well.
Yeah, facts. Before we move on to the Patriots, one more thing on the Seahawks. Should Sam Darnold and his team go back to the Seahawks front office and say, yo, I'm on the Baker contract that you gave Baker Cup like 3 years ago. And money just keeps on going up and up and up every NFL offseason. Like you said,
Mm.
he hit all his incentives, which equaled an extra $4 million. Should he knock on the door and say, I want a pay rise? Make me a 50 million a year quarterback. He can
See,
technically say 60 because the cap's gone up.
I would say yes. You know me, I'm all about getting your money, so I'd say yes. But but for the simple fact of what you can do, you've won one now. You
Hmm.
can go on and win more with the players you can add. Yeah, for the simple fact you can do that. You can pay your whole defense. You can keep everyone here, and
Yeah.
you can add people. I'm like, I'm probably as a quarterback, he's probably saying that I'm probably still going to be the highest paid player on this team. Do you get what I mean? But I could get more money. But are we going to win more? I think you take the Brady approach now. I think you take the Brady approach for the next 3 years. When I say
Yeah.
the next 3 years, the next 2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, you go and ball out. You say, I want 65. You just literally, you go and say, whatever the market's paying people, you want that. Because at that point, you might have won another Super Bowl. You might be in regular season MVP discussions just because of how good your team is.
Hmm.
Um, and then you can really, really knock them over the head for whatever you want. You get what I mean? Right now, you could probably do it, but say, oh, I only want 50, and they give you the 50, and then you go and do a mad thing next year. You can't walk in there and say, I want 60, because they're going to
Yeah.
say, we're not doing this every year. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, me personally, yes, go and get every dollar out of them. But you're a quarterback. You're in the right place. They've paid you 100 million over the course of what 3 years or 4 years. His contract's only 3 years, isn't it?
I think it was a 3 year, if I'm not mistaken. I
Yeah,
feel
3 years,
like,
34 million.
yeah, let me double check that. But yeah, keep going.
So literally, that's what I'm saying. So if the next 2 years play out the right way, or they don't have to play out the right way, I won a Super Bowl in my first year here.
Hmm.
Regardless, after year 3, we're re-upping. But I think next year, do you know what you do? Play on this contract for the next year, and and then next year you hit them over the head. But if you want to hit them over the head now, I won't be mad at it.
Yeah. So it was a 3 year, 100.5 million contract, 55 million guaranteed, which 37.5 was fully guaranteed at signing. So I think you're right in terms of obviously knowing he could just say, "Yo, I'm the best player in the NFL," obviously, not going that
Yeah,
far,
exactly.
and
You get what I
then
mean?
say,
Yeah.
"I want all of it." But if he's realistic with himself, obviously he manages his money. However, he can, like
Mm,
you said, take that Brady approach, and we can see the only similar-ish quarterback that has taken that approach and actually been successful is Mahomes.
yeah.
Because Mahomes should easily and could easily be the highest paid player in the NFL, asks for a new contract every year, but he signed that long after the first Super Bowl. He signed that 10-year deal contract and kept on restructuring it, where
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like obviously his money was fine, but it was helping the team build, build, build. And
Mhm.
like you said, soon the Seahawks are eventually going to have to start paying some players. They've got a great foundation because it's not like this isn't like when the Rams won it. The Rams just went all in to win it that year and knowing
Mm,
it's gonna break up the team anyway because we're
yeah.
going all for it and fair play to them. They just paid everyone, paid high, bringing in old players, etc. And they got their chip. yo, this one, Seattle, you can build. You can go back to back. Obviously, it's not easy, but you can be the team that's always there. And there's teams in the NFL that, in the NFC, sorry, that are similar to Seattle in terms of just the team aspect where you'll think, oh yeah, maybe they're not going away. They're going to be here for a few years. So, like you said, the star name quarterbacks are in the AFC, but the teams are in the NFC. And it's funny because I heard beforehand that apparently a lot of coaches in the NFC said that the AFC was like the junior league this year. And I think you said that you kind of said something in correlation to that when we were driving home, was the fact that, or you might have said it when we were still at Big Penny Social, this is why we need big name quarterbacks in the Super Bowl, or the big names getting far. So when the AFC quarterbacks, the Supermans, when they get far, it gives it more value. Do you know what I mean? Like the likes of Lamar getting to AFC Championship game, Allen getting to AFC Championship, Burrow getting to Super Bowl, Mahomes obviously getting there, winning it. Like, because they've been that consensus for a minute, you're like, all right, cool. They have Mahomes and then them three have been collectively carrying the AFC in that sense. Whereas this year, like, again, not to take credit from the Patriots because they did what they needed to do, but none of their postseason wins for me were impressive. Obviously, May had a good second half, I think, against the Chargers, and then one or two big plays against the Texans. But it's just that if it was just okay quarterback on the other side, the Patriots wouldn't be there. Like, we didn't see the regular season's offense style, and a point we kept on making is their schedule. And it's actually they end up having the hardest run. Their offense end up having the hardest run of the defenses that they face, I think, in NFL history in the postseason. But they didn't have no warning, whereas Seattle had arguably the hardest schedule. Seattle and the Rams, that's why everyone was like, if whoever goes to, they're battle tested. Do you know what I mean?
No, exactly. That is exactly that. And you're right in saying the elite quarterback play, you need it. You just need it in the Super Bowl because sometimes elite quarterback play overcomes these crazy defenses. And that essentially is what you want to see. And not saying that Drake may have an elite season, but I don't know if we could put him in the elite quarterback status. You get what I mean? And you could see when the pressure came and these top tier defenses came, he wasn't able to overcome them. It was his defense winning the games, and he was making a play here, play there to kind of, okay, cool, we're winning the game. But it's also the quarterback play on the other side until the Super Bowl wasn't great at all. So it allowed them to basically get through the rounds and get to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, man, we need, well, next year we're going to have them back. You get what I mean? Everyone's all had their surgeries and everyone is trying to get really fully fit for the next season. This is the one outlier year that you're going to have every 5 or so years. And then we're going to have like normal dominance is going to resume in terms of the big names in the AFC. It's really the NFC is just teams, so we know what the NFC is going to produce each year. It's going to be great teams, and the greatest of the great teams going to come out. And I think the AFC need to take some of that model from the NFC, and implement that onto this side. Even because you can. It's not like you're playing in the same league. Do you get what I mean? You can do that, even if you're paying your quarterback 60, 70 million a year. You can figure out a way, draft better. Do you get what I mean? Sign better players, make key trades. The NFC always manage to do it every year. Why can't you? Manage the money better, have better people in the building. So I think they just need to take the model from what the NFC have been doing, because the NFC have been dominating, man. The last 2 Super Bowls, isn't it? They've won them. So, if it's not the Chiefs winning, it's the NFC winning.
Yeah, no, facts. It's true.
So it's either been Chiefs, Patriots, or NFC. That's what it feels like.
But even now I think about it, since Mahomes' first year in the league, when the Patriots beat them in the AFC Championship, the Patriots won that year, didn't they? Was it the year they beat
Yes.
the Rams?
Yes.
The low scoring game, weren't it?
Yeah, 10-7 or something like something silly,
Or
something small. It was
10-3 or 12-3,
10-3. Yeah,
something
something like that.
13-3, I think. And now I think about it, it's just been the Chiefs or the NFC winning.
Mhm.
Because Brady, Tampa Bay, Stafford, Rams, Jalen Hurts, Eagles, and now Donald yesterday, Seahawks.
Mhm.
And then the other side's just literally just been the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because again, like when you were just stating stuff in terms of the say young quarterbacks, when the Rams faced the Bengals, obviously the Rams were heavily
Yeah.
favored, but you could the reason Joe Burrow arguably went band for band with Stafford in that in that Super Bowl, and then
Mhm.
the greatest defensive player of the generation, Aaron Donald, had to make that play on that
Yeah.
final play just for the Rams to edge it. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
the Rams had the firepower,
Yeah.
and then the flip side is that we haven't seen the Bengals get there again. They got the AFC Championship game the following year, and then
But
the last three
since then
years.
they've just not made the playoffs.
Exactly. So like that's where the NFL really shows you got to take that opportunity where you can, even if you're ahead of schedule. If
Mm.
if you can, then
Mhm.
boy oh boy. We're on the Patriots anyway. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes. I mean, sorry, New England Patriots. I think it's been a bad couple weeks for the Patriots fans. First with Belichick not getting first ballot, Robert Kraft missing Hall of Fame again. The only one that's got is Vinatieri.
Yeah.
And then, but it's been a great season for the team in general because they have
Mm.
definitely overachieved. Not, um, let's speak a bit more positively on their young team. They've got so much cap space. Last offseason, they just brought in players from different teams. It was more kind of come and do a job. And again, May elevated that offense. Their coaches, both Vrabel and McDaniels, won coaches of the year in their respective classes and stuff like that. And it was just a
Yeah.
great job all around from them. Like you could tell there's Robert Kraft is such a good owner, knows when to make the right decisions, knows when to pull the plug and get the right people in. And that's why some people and myself kind of had the fear they were going to win because of their experience in the coaching staff department. So again, it's a hell of a season by them, hell of a season, and they've showed that in the AFC East that the Bills aren't just going to be walking through that division.
Yeah, you're not wrong at all. They are the Patriots will never be going anywhere. Do you get what I mean? They had their blip, they had their little rebuild process. They've now got everything in place. They are literally going to be rolling from here on out. Their schedule won't be as easy ever again, maybe, but you've got your quarterback, you got your head coach. That's all that matters right now in the NFL.
Hmm.
You have a quarterback, you have a head coach in the AFC. AFC
And they
is
got a
currently,
solid defense.
yes, yeah, one of the top defenses. I don't know, but I don't know how well they can actually. They're young, so they can actually keep them and play them. So yeah, I like you feel like they overachieved this season, but you're now here. Next
Hmm.
year, you're not going to be looked at as overachievers. Next year, you're going
Yep.
to be looked as the target. Do you get what I mean? You made it to the Super Bowl. You're now here. So we're looking at you and we're putting you in the same category as the Bengals who made the Super Bowl, the Chiefs who win the Super Bowl, the Bills, the Ravens. You get what I mean? That come close but don't get over the line. You're now in that category. You are part of this. So there's no more going to be sympathy. Oh, the schedule. Da, 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 da. Next year, we want to see what you guys turn up with. There's going to be no surprising anyone next year. We're going to have loads of film on what's going on. You have space to bring in a lot of players, though. Like they have space to bring in a real number one if they want to. Stephon Diggs, obviously, love him, but I feel like he's not a number. He is a number one, but in the right system. But he
Yeah.
wasn't really their number one this year. But I feel like you can bring in a true number one. You could pay someone because
Hmm.
Drake may still on a rookie contract. So you need to work that rookie contract until you need to pay him because you know he's going to be a high flying player. On Drake May's performance in the game, we kind of spoke about a bit before. He wasn't great, but he hasn't been great the whole playoff run. It kind of just was a continuation of what the playoff run's been for him.
Literally.
The pressure got to him. he was good in moments, but when you turn the ball over that many times, you could see kind of the young player in him coming out. He wasn't as assured in his decision making. I feel like the whole offensive line was flustered. I feel like the whole offense was flustered at times. Just didn't know what to do. There was no real run game. Couldn't get the ball moving downfield. It took them to the last quarter to put points up on the board.
Yeah,
So, and I feel like that's just because the bloody Seahawks got complacent, thinking, yeah, we won this game anyway.
yeah,
So,
facts.
yeah, man, they've overachieved, but good season overall. You think sometimes you look at it as it's a disappointment because you didn't win the big one, and you don't, as you said, you don't know when you're ever gonna get back here. But I feel like it was a good season overall for them, from where they came from. 4 wins last year, head coach change,
Hmm.
first year as a head coach with first year head coach Rabel for them
Hmm.
comes in and takes them to the Super Bowl. You just have stuff to build on.
Yeah.
Last night's performance, yes, wasn't the best at all, but you have stuff now to build on. You can literally look at what you want to keep in here, look at what you don't want to keep in here, and go about your day, man. So unfortunately they lost, but you know, someone has to win, someone has to lose. And I feel like the world wanted the Seahawks to win this one because we've seen the Patriots win too much, and we're not hating, we love a winner, but we just like revenge sometimes, because
Yeah.
Pete Carroll messed up what was going to be a great thing. So we now got McDonald brought back the revenge, and Seahawks won. Patriots, if you want to go and win in 5 years' time, no one's gonna care in it. So yeah.
And it's so funny you said the Pete Carroll thing, because that moment kind of changed the Seattle Seahawks for a long period of time.
Yep.
Because one, they would have gone back to back, but two, it just
Mhm.
completely took the soul out of them. Like, obviously,
Mm.
Russell Wilson was still great and still highly rated over the next couple of years, but you could
The
argue
defense
if,
on the defense.
yeah, it completely changed like their way of going and that. But yeah, just back to the game last night, the Super Bowl. Like you said, if Christian Gonzalez didn't make those plays, it would have been a bigger blowout
Mm.
than the game
Mhm.
would have been done. Maybe halftime, maybe third quarter at an early point in the third quarter, rather than the Patriots getting a chance to a bit of a squeaky bum time when they got
Yeah.
their scores and stuff like that. But yeah, like you said, Drake May, great season. Postseason not good. I feel like he was protected a lot in terms of like the media of the way his postseason was. And I was
Mm.
like, if you're now going to protect him, and then some analysts and pundits even then put him ahead of the likes of Lamar Jackson, I was like, bro, the backlash needs to be the exact same. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a 2-time MVP, even though he hasn't got to the Super Bowl. It's like, broski, it's like, let's slow your roll. And I think the last couple years have showed, especially with these first year or second year quarterbacks, don't elevate them straight away into these top 5 conversations. We saw it with CJ Stroud, who had the best rookie year. And then the next 2 seasons, he's not been the
Terrible.
same. And we don't even know if the Texans will want to pay him fully yet.
Mm.
Because if he continued on that trajectory, they would 100% pay him this offseason. Then
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, obviously, this year was more so on a health aspect for Jaden Daniels, who upped CJ Stroud's rookie year, and then boom. So it's just like, let's wait until there's another season where there's more tape and stuff like that. And I, like, before the Super Bowl, I saw a great stat that Mike McDonald, sorry, Seattle Seahawks head coach, is superb against rookie quarterbacks or quarterbacks that he's facing for the first time. I think it was
Mhm.
like quarterbacks that were facing him for the first time, or rookie quarterbacks. They were only 1-9 against Matt McDonald. Matt McDonald.
Mm.
Yeah, that's how,
Yeah. Well.
like, he gives off the Belichick vibe against rookie quarterbacks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or against
Yeah.
young quarterbacks. So it's just like, let's appreciate May's season and how he's helped transform the Patriots, but
Mm.
let's not. Obviously, if he won it, then those conversations you'll be like, all right, cool, whatever, innit? Do you know what I mean? But like we say
Yeah.
with Burrow, Burrow hasn't been there since, and Burrow is technically slightly better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but the flip side is, the difference between the Patriots and Bengals, players will want to go to the Patriots. We've been hearing rumors Max Crosby wants to go and play for Mike Vrabel,
Yeah.
for instance. Good receivers will want to go to New England. maybe not even because of the coaching staff, but partly the coaching staff, Josh McDaniels, obviously, and the owner, Robert Kraft. You seem to live
Yeah.
a great life when you're in New England, it seems, because
Yeah.
he's a good celebrity owner in terms of
Mm.
like for a player's public image, for instance, not his lifestyle, etc. and stuff like that. So they're in a position where they can potentially get really two big names, one on offense, one on defense this offseason.
Yeah. If they do that, then, they'll be in contention. One thing you
Mm-hmm.
said is, I just want to know why they always, the media members always compare everyone to Lamar Jackson. I'm just very confused why Lamar is used as the person you compare him to. The man has more accolades than everyone other than Patrick Mahomes.
Mate. It's not even
Compare these people to people below him, because you can't be talking about a man that has more accolades than everyone. Yeah, when Joe Burrow has 0 accolades, his accolade is getting to the Super Bowl. That
it's
doesn't
beating
come up
Mahomes.
anywhere. That doesn't come up as a stat. Like, Josh Allen was given the MVP last year. That is his only accolade.
Mate.
Like, what are we doing here? Why are we always comparing it to Lamar Jackson? Compare it to the people with nothing.
And it
Or
was
one.
this year, it was the subtle disrespect to Lamar, because they wouldn't even say his name. They just do top fives, for instance, or projected top fives, and they'd leave his name out. And I'll be like, are you not being cheeky? Like some analysts and stuff like that. I'm like, really, guys? Like, he's got more critique this season for being injured than other players have. I'm like, obviously, he's not always healthy, for instance, but like, bro, that's a 2-time MVP, 1-time unanimous. Like, he,
Mm-hmm.
not to say he should, but he's allowed a bad season. Do you know what I mean? He can, and like I was saying again in the car, people are really happy with the Ravens, like coaching staff changes. They think it could be really energetic. Obviously, he's OC's same age as him, which is pretty interesting / weird. But hey, he could just need something completely different and fresh.
Yeah.
Because, like, just for argument's sake, when going off a tangent, when people were doing their projected top fives if May won, they were like, oh, Mahomes, Allen, Stafford, May, and then some people Herbert. And we saw Herbert got a first place voting for MVP, and I'm just like, broski. Or people going forward, oh, the quarterback I'd want going forward, but if we had a draft now, will be Mahomes, Allen, and May. And I'm like, guys, if someone can have just one good year, someone that's had great years can have just one bad year in Lamar. And that was, a lot of it was health-wise as well. So it's just like,
I just don't understand. The man was the best player in the league last year. Last year, the man was the best player in the league.
and the
1 year
before.
ago. And the year before, the man. So you're telling me for 2 years, the man was the best player in the league. Yeah. And the next year, he's now out of discussions.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy,
Because
man.
I just, I can talk about Lamar all day, but I just need the media to stop comparing people to the 2-time MVP with 3 first-team All-Pros.
Yeah, he's got more first-team All-Pros than Mahomes. It's actually mad. But
So,
since you brought up Lamar, him and Josh Allen, is it their 9th season or so, or they've had 9, or they're going into year 9? They're
yeah.
both in a similar standing now, where it's getting, the door is closing, and obviously you can win the Super Bowl anytime, but for their style of play as well. And even listening to Josh Allen, I think when he was on First Things First, he was realistic in the sense that he was saying he doesn't need to change his style of play for now, but within 2-3 years he'll need to, because obviously the hits he's taken and stuff. Like with May's emergence and just these other young quarterbacks trying to, make a name for themselves, is the door closing on like the likes of Lamar, Josh, or winning a Super Bowl, or for both of they're both in situations where new head coaches, obviously Joe Brady's gone from OC to head coach in Buffalo, but new voices, changes. It's funny, like their off seasons mirrored kind of.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the door's closing, because we saw Brady play till bloody nearly 50. But do
Yeah,
you get what I
but
mean? So we saw Brady.
Brady
I know
didn't
his
really
style of
change.
play was never conducive to running around. I know that. But you're seeing the longevity and the length of time quarterbacks are now playing, especially elite ones that can switch and change their game. You've seen how Lamar has changed his game to
Mhm,
be someone that he wasn't when he came into the NFL. Last year, when he was just a pocket passer, he can be what you need him to be. Obviously, his legs are the key to why people defend him the way they defend him. But he can he can sit in the pocket and play. So I don't think
mhm,
the door or the window's closing for them. I think it's just reopened because you now have new life in your building. It's new blood. It's like a new start. So I feel like they've
mhm,
got a fresh start for the next like 5 years. And athleticism, LeBron has defied athleticism. And I feel like the certain like players we have now in the Josh Allens, in the Lamar Jacksons, they look similar in terms of the way they're defying it. Do you get what I mean? Or the technology anyway. They're paid so much money. They could put so many different things and do so many different things to keep their bodies in the best place possible. Obviously you can't help again hit and hurt. Do you get what I mean?
mhm,
But I feel like the door is just opened again for them. I feel like
mhm,
with their past head coaches and their past like what was going on in their buildings, it was closing and it was near enough closed. But I
mhm,
feel like this has brought new life into them. So I think the door's open for the next 5-6 years for them both.
mhm,
And we'll see. I feel like it's just about building a team now because you've seen you don't need sensational quarterback play to win the Super Bowl. You need a
mhm.
team. So if they just put teams around them, which the Bills I feel tried to do, which the Ravens have done, do you get
Yeah,
what
they
I
both
mean?
have to be fair.
But they just haven't got over the line. So I feel like if they build proper teams, they'll be fine for the next 5-6 years. I think the window's open for both of them again. Barring injury and drastic injury, I think they'll both win one or somewhat. One of them will win one. I just don't think the Bengals or Burrow are going to win anything. If I'm being honest with you, that's the
I
one
do
team I'm.
like that. It's reopened for both of them, and maybe these young head coaches that they're gonna get, youngish head coaches, will be a
Mm,
like rejuvenate them somewhat. Could give, obviously not say Mike McDonald because it was his second year, but that kind of style of flex to them and the team and stuff like that. So,
mm,
and yeah, as for the Bengals, only God knows. It was good to listen to both Jamar Chase and Higgins. I don't know if you watched it on Nightcap.
yeah.
But like it was somewhat no filter from them, and you could see like. But again, I think Chase just he said it. It's like, yo, we need to get something on defense. Like
Mm,
he basically said, don't worry, the offense will handle itself, which is true.
yeah.
But we don't know what the Bengals are gonna do. But yeah, it's an interesting one, and now it's not only those four teams that have had the limelight over the last couple of years, including Chiefs. Now the Patriots are in that conversation. We've seen what the Broncos did this year. Sean Payton will keep them slowly in that conversation. Same with the way Harbaugh will with the Chargers, and just Herbert lovers in general
Mm,
will keep the Chargers somewhat as a problematic team as well. So even going forward for the Chiefs, it's like, oof. The years ago when they said, "Oh yeah, this team's gonna top the Chiefs," and the Chiefs kept on winning. Now the Chiefs are in a real battle with the AFC West. So
yeah.
it's it's because those are the other, like, just for instance, the Broncos and Chargers. Those are the teams led by their defenses, for instance.
Mm,
So kind of mirroring the NFC teams, but then the great quarterbacks in the AFC can somewhat counter that as well. So it's gonna be it's an interesting off season because we've had a lot of coaching changes. We've had big changes within the big teams in terms of Lamar and Josh Allen. We've seen the Chiefs; they're changing a lot of their coaching staff. They have changed a lot of their coaching staff, bringing Eric Bieniemy back and just other old coaches as well. Um, just that little refresh, and it's going to be, and them having, I think, a top 10 draft pick for the first time in in my time being a Chiefs
yeah.
fan or something like that. So it's just like, oh, it's I already want the new season to be here, bro. I want the moves to happen already and stuff, and it's just like, oh gosh, season's
Mm.
done. So yeah, And then the
Yeah, man.
young quarterbacks in the NFC side, Caleb Williams, can he take another level? Jordan Love,
Mm.
can he take another level? It's an there's
It's
a lot
exciting
of good
times, man.
quarterbacks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting times in the NFL. And we're going to see, obviously, the draft, how teams rebuild their teams, who
Mhm,
signs where. We got a lot of, I feel like we got a big offseason coming up in terms of trades.
mhm.
Because a lot of players are at teams and they don't want to be at those teams. AJ Brown, for instance. We got a lot of players that need to be paid. We don't know if
AJ
the
Brown
teams are
could
going to
go to
pay them.
sorry, AJ Brown, you just named him. The Patriots could go for him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
To be
that's
their
the
number
thing.
one.
They,
Someone
they, they
like
could.
him, but yeah, sorry.
And he's worked with Rabel before. He's worked with Rabel when he was at Tennessee. So it's literally going back to what he knows. He knows he'll get the ball. He knows the head coach will find a way to get him the ball, and Drake May will definitely do that. So I feel like, yeah, we got a big off-season in coming in just in terms of the moves that are going to be made, the people that are going to go places. If Jerry's going to pay George Pickens, how much is he going to pay him?
Mhm,
Puka Nakua, you're going to get paid what you want to get paid. Do you get what I mean? We're just going to see a lot of changes. We saw a coaching carousel, and that's kind of ended now. We kind of know who's going to be where,
mhm.
but we're now going to see what's next. Because obviously the Seahawks are about to lose Clint Kubiak.
Yeah.
So he's going to be at the Vegas Raiders. So they're going to obviously have to rehire someone else and retool. Jim Swartz is available now. Well, I don't know if he's actually available, but you get what I mean. He said he's
Yeah.
leaving the Browns, so someone's going to have a sensational DC coming into their building. Um, so yeah, man, the moves are going to be interesting this offseason, and just even figuring out who in some of the teams, we don't know who their starting QBs are going to be. They got QBs in the building. For instance, the Browns is always going to be something around the Browns because of
Mhm.
Shador's there. So the bad teams, even the bad teams are interesting. So the NFL is literally always going to be interesting this offseason. The bad teams are interesting, the good teams are interesting, and everyone's looking everywhere to find what's next. And we know the quarterbacks run the game, but the Seahawks have taught us something.
Mhm. No, you're right. You're definitely right there. Definitely right. Hell of a season, and again, rightful winners because they just showed throughout the season. Schedule, no problem. Hardest division, no problem. And I'm
Mhm.
actually that even validates why I'm happy they won it because they were in the hardest division. All the teams in the hardest division for
Mm.
them showed up. Like the 49ers showed up regardless of their health issues, injuries.
Yep.
The Rams showed up because they had the MVP and offensive absolute firepower. And the Seahawks showed up because they just have a superb all-round team. And said
Mm.
they all three of them just said, all right, let's keep going until
Yeah.
we knock each other out. And the Seahawks knocks
Uh-huh.
both of them out and then went on to win it. So like I
Mm.
feel like it's a poetic justice kind of Super Bowl where
Yeah.
the rightful team won it, and they done it more or less probably the rightest way I've seen in a while.
Mm. Yeah, no, you're not wrong at all. You're not wrong at all.
So, hell of a season. Seattle Seahawks, congratulations. Big up your fan
Mhm.
base as well. Great fan base. I'd love to go Lumen Field one time. Big up the great people of Seattle that I met recently as well. And like you said, even just the fans that we saw last night as well, whether American or British. Uh, and over the last couple of weeks, meeting people that say we're Seahawks fans, we're like, do you know what? I
Mm.
hear it because
Yeah.
10 years ago, again, Legion, was it Legion of Doom or
Yeah.
Legion of
Legion of
Boom?
Doom.
Sorry, or
Yeah.
it's like I understand it, innit? So, hey, if I get NFC jersey, I'm getting a JSN jersey. So, yeah, might be
Makes
behind me.
sense.
But what you say? We can wrap that one up, isn't it, my bro?
Yes, yes, yes.
Hey, people, them tell a friend to tell a friend about Through a Different Lens podcast.
Like and subscribe, like and subscribe.
Yes, what he said. Please do that. Get me hit those buttons. Get in the comments. Get involved with us. Give us suggestions. And we definitely don't worry. We've not finished with NFL content because we're definitely waiting for what's to come with the NFL draft, the off season, the trades, moves, the whole shebang. We're ready for it, and we will deliver for you guys. Joe, I am signing out.
Jacob, signing out.
Peace.
Thank you for listening.